Ciao guys, I'm Food here. So this weekend something very cool, interesting happened. We're talking about this new part of the website on Samsung just came up, and it's the new Samsung Odyssey Plus. So in this video we're gonna see together all about it, all what they made better in this new reiteration of the Windows Mixed Reality headset from Samsung, because we're not talking about something completely new. It's not the new VR and AR together. There were some rumors around, but this is just the Samsung Odyssey redefined and made it better. So let's switch to the computer right now and let's see together all the specs, like what's changed, what's the same, what is redefined, what's like made it better and stuff. So without further ado, let's switch to the computer. Okay, so here we are on the computer. This one is the new Samsung Odyssey Plus, and as you can see, the shape is already a little different from the one that we are used to before. If you don't know anything about the Samsung Odyssey, you can check out my reviews over here. It's gonna be actually a lot more above this little square, or in the description below, where I talk about it. I made a review, an honest review, and many other stuff about it. I had a lot of things to complain back then, because for the price there were a lot of flaws, and the quality weren't the best so far for plastic and stuff. So let's see if they correct them, and let's go to check that. Here we have the device overall. It already looks different. It's a smaller feeling, but it seems like that the top is actually still the same. But there's something different at the end, and we're gonna check it out in a second. Also, the AKG are the same side, and it seems like the clip is the same, so they didn't change it. And mine broke right away when I was taking photos for the review, because this clip just broke out, and it's not a great thing. And also the nose part, they finally changed it, but still there are these little flaps on it that they were very weird before. I hope they're not gonna be uncomfortable like the first iteration that they had about those, because it was a weird choice. As you can see, also it's a little more narrow in the front, so it doesn't feel and doesn't look so big, and that's an improvement, because if I'm not wrong, it's also a little lighter than the first version. So this is in photos, everything. We have the IPD adjustment still and the volume rocker still. So looks very, very good. And also the fact that finally we have a removable cushion, it's very nice. But let's get to the specs. So we have 110 FOV, so the same field of view of pretty much all the VR headset on the market right now. Pimax not included in this because not still on the market. There's just Kickstarter for now. Let's hope it's gonna arrive soon. And today there was a kind of a nice leak about the 5K S, I believe, that is the one with the LED display, so better colors, but we have to check it out for sure when it comes out. It's not gonna be for the Kickstarter, but for regular people to buy it. But let's go back to the Odyssey right now. So 110 degrees, nothing new. Dual AMOLED display, actually 3.5 inches. That is the same exactly we had before, but seems like we had something new. And the weight is 590. That sounds pretty heavy actually, but if the weight distribution is good, there will not be a big problem. And here is what is very interesting about the AMOLED display. They use a new technology that minimizes the SDE, that is the screen door effect, so is when you see all the lines in the vision. And as you can see, this is the actual resolution with the AMOLED, also the one that they had on the regular Odyssey, and this is they say that is perceived resolution. So what they do, they change the matrix of the pixel to create a bounce pretty much, where the pattern will look more vibrant and will make more light, and so it's gonna cover the lines that are in the middle of the pixel a lot to have a perceived resolution much higher. And we're talking about double perceived resolution. The screen are 1440 by 1600, so it will perceive a 4K display pretty much on you, even bigger. and that's very, very interesting. I can wait to like put my eyes on, not hands on, and check it out by myself. There will be like an increase of pixel at around the 50%. So I'm very, very interested about this technology with this like pixel replication technology. Now we know that Samsung is very good with screens, are actually the best in the world. So if we can expect something major coming from like in a screen technology, well, those are the people that they're gonna do it because they know what they're doing with screens. Here they are hyping the 110 field of view. It's nothing really new, actually. It's the usual field of view that we have in every headset. So I don't really know why they're hiding it. Now, we don't never know with FOV if they're referring to the diagonal or if they're referring to the horizontal. And that's something that is not really clear yet in the VR industry, because 110 can be exactly like the HTC Vive, but can also be like the HP that was like reduced. It depends if you consider the diagonal or the horizontal. But I don't think it's gonna be an improvement, to be honest. I don't really know why they put it on it. So here is interesting. I wanna point out just one thing, and that's this laptop over here. I never seen this laptop from Samsung. It really looks like the Asus Zephyrus with the old generation one, the one from last year with the 1080 Max Q inside. So probably they leaked also a new laptop coming. If this is the new Samsung Odyssey laptop, I'm pretty happy about it because it looks pretty good. But by the way, comfort and fit. This is important because in VR it's important as much the visual as much as the fit, because if it's not comfortable, a device, and that's the problem I had actually with the first Odyssey, you're not going to be able to keep it on your head, you're not going to be able to enjoy it, you're not going to be able to play as much. So it's very vital to have something comfortable, and I'm glad that they moved a little on this, because the padding on the first Samsung Odyssey weren't the best, were like in fake leather and they were too squishy, so it was easy to feel like the plastic behind. And this one they went for fabric, and so like they look like VR cover from the beginning, and it's removable, so you can take it out and wash it, and so it's a great thing. And from what I see, the paddings are used in all the part of the device, also in this part over here, and not just in the face cushion, and that's very, very nice. But other than that, seems pretty much the same. We have the IPD adjustment, so it's good because it was the only one before with IPD adjustment for the Windows Mixed Reality, and we keep that. And here there's the nose part where it's bigger, but these flaps are very weird looking. So I'm not really trusting Samsung on the nose flaps, because the last time they were like horrible, they were really feeling like something closing your nose. And what they did, like what people did, and I did too, was like to bend those like on the back and pretty much in this space. Like this is not gonna happen this time because are shorter. So I'm really curious to see if something good this time, because I don't know why they don't go with the technology that they use from all the other VR headset manufacturers. That is pretty much a good one. Ultralight 590, not really ultra light, but really depends on the distribution. We already said, because like the 450 is usually considered okay, and when you go below that, start to be light. So here we are still over the 500 grams, but I feel it is better than the first generation. And this is very interesting. So they keep, of course, the same thing of the two cables with the USB and the HDMI, like every Windows Mixed Reality headset. And that's weird because I would expect something like the new Virtual Link connection. You can learn more about over here in the video that I posted. But they went with the old connection, the HDMI and USB. It's fine, it's nothing bad, because also for the laptop it's easier. Right now the Virtual Link is not so used, just in the new graphic cards, but you know, it's the Plus, is gonna come out soon or in the future anyway, and it's not really future-proof at this point. But the very interesting part is this. So the problem with the Windows Mixed Reality headset is like you never had in bundle the Bluetooth adapter. So many people with the laptop were fine, but people with the desktop weren't able to really connect it sometime, because not all the motherboards had the Bluetooth. And now they included it, like happens with the Vive to say, or with the Oculus inside the headset itself. So you're gonna be able to just connect it without any problem. It's weird because sometimes the USB 3.0 can give problem with the Bluetooth, like if you have other stuff going on for the bandwidth, but I'm pretty sure they managed to make it in the right way. So this is the result we have. So the Bluetooth inside, you don't have really to be like worry about anything. Premium sound from AKG, probably the same we had before. 360 spatial audio wasn't really so good, the audio, better than the one on the Vive Pro actually, but it wasn't really mind-blowing audio. But AKG is a great brand, so I'm glad that they keep working with them. And we have the new microphone array. Now, about the microphone, they moved it on the side. Let me see if they have a picture about it. They move it on the side over here, as you can see. So it's very useful to have it on the side, because when you blow up or you speak, you don't have like the air going directly to the microphone, and you don't make distortion for like the other people listening. And that's a very nice little stuff, but they're very important to like make everything better. Technical specification, here we have it, pretty much the same. And then we have the new AMOLED display, so the one with the new technologies, that is the 1440 by 1600, as we said, so same resolution, but seems like the perceived is better because there's like another layer on top. They make it the perceived resolution better. The same interface, and they still went with the 4 meters length cable. It is actually not long enough, so be aware, you're gonna have to probably think about an extension cable, because 4 meter, if you do room scale, are not really enough. And we're starting to have like wireless everywhere, so like still 4 meters, they feel very short. Dual microphone array, inside-out tracking, as we've seen, and these are the dimensions, so are a little smaller than the one of the previous Odyssey. So here there's a chat, doesn't work, so don't even try. They didn't want to put this thing up yet, but this is overall the first look at this headset. I have to say that it looks interesting because the footprint is smaller, so probably it's better to move around. They went though with the same kind of Halo style design. That was something that I didn't really like before, because the weight distribution was a little too much on the forehead and can be heavy. For me, my forehead was getting numb. That's why I returned mine after a while when I had it, and looks pretty much the same as fitting, and the controller are exactly the same. And as you can notice, they didn't put the clip yet on here, and that's a problem because they're very slippery, because they're very roundish, and you don't have anything to keep them there. You're gonna have to add a clip that for them is no cost, but for some reason they don't wanna do that anyway. But here you have it, guys. These are all the specs. It's not super different from the old Samsung Odyssey, at least for now, seen like from the screen. But I'm really interested in this new screen technology to make the SDE better, because SDE is one of the biggest problem in VR when we have this grid and it's hard to read like text and stuff. With this technology, we already seen in other stuff like the Star VR, they're really not using super resolution panels, but it's all about the matrix of the pixel. And from Samsung, it's really interesting to see how they're gonna move, because they're leading the technology of the screens out there, like in smartphone and anything pretty much. There's Samsung on the side and Sony on the other, so it's very interesting to see how Samsung will move and is moving to make VR better on the screen side, on the visual side. That is actually one of the most important. Anyway, guys, again, that was all. If you liked the video, like. If you didn't like the video, dislike. Subscribe to the channel for more about VR and tech in general, and enjoy the end of the weekend. I see you guys in the next video. Ciao.